Tales of Xillia 2 is a direct sequel to Tales of Xillia, taking place a year after the fateful events of Jude and Mila's adventure. The premise of this game is about traveling to and destroying alternate dimensions and making decisions in order to have a wish granted by the Great Spirit of Canaan. The main protagonist of this installment is a somewhat silent Olympian man from Triglyph named Luga, who tried to get a job at the Spurious Corporation, only to fail the entrance exam. Thus, his brother Julius helped him get a job at the train station in Triglyph. Thus, he meets Jude, who was also on the way to the station, only to have a mysterious girl named Elle appearing out of nowhere, and a terrorist attack happening at the train station. This eventually forced Luca and Jude, with Elle tagging along, to stop the terrorist, only to say the person responsible for the attack is Julius, and they eventually soon get into a bizarre version of the same scenario for a brief moment. The attempt to stop the terrorist attack left Luca and Elle injured, causing Luca to accumulate a debt of 20 million gods. This chain of events caused Luca to do a series of odd jobs in form of optional side quests, and later got himself hired by Spurious Corp to destroy alternate universes in order to pay off his debt, investigate why Julius attacked the train, and reach the land of Canaan. Throughout this adventure, Luca would be joined by the rest of Jude's party along with the new members Gaius and Yusei, helping Luca in his various missions, and in turn, Luca helped each party member in their character episode dealing with their personal problems. The battle system of Xillia 2 is modified from the last game, as you can no longer change party members mid-battle, and everyone can use common link arts along with team-specific link arts from Xillia 1. Just like before, each CPU-controlled character have their own skill sets, which you can toggle during battle to better fit the situation, while the character you control will have a limited amount of arts to use depending on whether or not you use the right analog stick to use more of that character's arts in battle. As usual, each character has their own specific style of fighting, with Luca having the ability to switch weapons during battle, Jude being a warrior healer, Alvin and Mila having versatile attacks, Elise, Rowan, and Yusei as spellcasters, Leia as the jack-of-all-trades, and Gaius as the countering powerhouse. As you can no longer be able to switch characters during battle, the fact that the game itself is divided into chapters, you'll be thrown into situations that require you to make full use of each character's strengths and weaknesses in order to survive various battles, as well as checking out different victory quotes and animation based on who's on your party. Leveling up in Xillia 2 is different this time around, as the Lilium Orbs are now transformed into Allium Orbs, which uses elemental points which can be acquired by searching for elemental ore, which can be used for learning skills and arts, but your stats grow in a traditional style. It should be noted that the elemental points are divided into 6 different elements, as the only way to learn everything for each character is by managing your extractors, which you can find in treasure chests equipped by party members when they first joined you, through item creation and fulfilling job requests. As Luca had to deal with a large debt, in order to progress the story, you have to pay a certain amount of gold by completing job requests, selling items which you can get from exploring the world, and kitty dispatch, and going into battle with regular and elite monsters. While grinding for God, you can play character episodes, which gives further character development as well as unlocking additional cutscenes in the main chapters, and costumes, aside from the DLCs from the last game. Gone from the last game is the ability to upgrade shops, as it has been replaced with the item creation system from the previous ToX games, so you're kind of forced to find materials from all over the game to create powerful healing items, weapons, and armor, as well as extractors to help you advance through the game. Unlike the previous game, which is pretty much linear in character relationships, Luca can form friendships with the party members by linking with them, making decisions to further your affinity with them, and using friendship potions. The more the character like Luca, new skill and art tomes will be given, as well as new costumes for Luca, and new victory quotes and animations between them. Like most of the 3D Tales games, there are DLC costumes for each character, and there are DLC which makes your adventuring easier, but you have to make sure the DLC is properly installed, or the DLC will not be registered. It should also be noted that the DLC costumes from the first game can be carried over and vice versa. Xillia 2 is overall a completely different experience from the first game, as you're mostly playing a silent protagonist, which is the first in the history of the Tales series. The decisions you make actually don't affect the story much outside of endings, character relationships, and item acquisition. The modified battle system, however, gives you options to try out different things, from performing long combo chains, which make fighting game fans jealous, to fighting high-level monsters to get more out of the battle. I would recommend this to long-time ToX fans and RPG fans who want to try what it's like to have a battle system similar to a fighting game.
Now, the ritual